Hey, what's going on? Keith from Trigger Happy. Going to take a look at an H&K pistol here today. H&K makes some tremendous guns. This particular one is a P2000. It's been out on the market for quite some time, since about 2001 or 2002. Had some pretty innovative features for its time, and I think you'll still think they're pretty innovative even now on a gun that's been around for 11 or 12 years. P2000. Polymer frame pistol, hammer fired, which, I prefer a hammer fired gun. It's still a relatively heavy gun, but it's very well balanced. I like the balance to it. This is the compact model. I believe it's called version 3. Comes with 2 magazines. These are 10 rounds that this particular one shipped with. Some of them are going to ship with 13 rounds. Some of them are going to ship with 15 round magazines. Just depends upon what you can get a hold of at the time of this filming, which is May of 2013. You kind of take what you can get. So, a 10 rounder is what it is. One of the features that was definitely different was the magazine release. It is an ambidextrous design. You'll see it's here in the trigger guard. And it takes more of a downward motion to release the magazine. It's a pretty slight motion. You can see I barely touch it to release the magazine. The problem I have is I've got short hands, short fingers, so it takes either using my index finger here or kind of swiveling the gun in my hand in order to release the magazine. I tend to like them here on the grip because, again, I've got short fingers, so I've got to kind of rotate my hand to release it. Most people probably aren't going to have that problem. They don't have these little stubby hands, so not a big deal, but for me, it's kind of an issue. As far as the controls go, again, they're ambidextrous on the magazine release and also the slide lock. Both sides. I like that. Definitely good for left or right-handed shooters. It is a single action, double action gun, so the trigger is really, really good in single action. It does have a fair amount of bring up here, more than I would expect, but it breaks at about 4.5 pounds, which is really nice. Like that. Does have a decocking lever, which is in a fairly odd place, right there. A little different. There's no manual safety on this gun, and really no safety in terms of trigger safety or anything else as far as that goes. So, if I'm going to carry this gun, I'm going to probably carry it in a decocked double action mode, because then it's about 11.5 pound trigger pull, so it's pretty hard in double action. But for range shooting and things like that, leave it in single action. It's going to be great. Excuse me. This was primarily designed as a law enforcement military gun, but it's also seen wide release in the civilian market. So it can definitely serve most any role you want it to in terms of home defense. Concealed carry, going to be pretty tough. It's a pretty wide gun with a double stack magazine, and it's also pretty heavy. It does have an accessory rail up front, so if you want to run a light or a laser up there, you can do that. As far as sights go, pretty standard 3-dot sight pattern. Really nothing special. And quite honestly, it's a fairly wide, picture here, which would take me a little getting used to, but certainly serviceable. In terms of customizing the fit, it's got changeable back straps. You've got the one on the gun and then 3 additional, so you can pretty much customize this feel and fit to pretty much anything you want. It's got some nice rough texturing on the front and back, not much on the sides. I like the feel of the gun, but again, it's going to take some getting used to on that magazine release. If I'm shooting IDPA or any kind of competition, that's going to be a problem for me, and it probably would be a deal breaker in terms of making it that kind of gun, but for other roles, it's going to be great. Reliability, it's going to be tremendous. H&K is legendary quality and design. It's a cold hammer forged barrel. Very nice barrel they put in these guns. And, I like it. I dig the gun. Probably on the downside to a lot of gun buyers is the cost. H&K is an expensive gun to buy. These brand new are going to be in the $950 ballpark, maybe even more, maybe less, depending upon where you find the gun. But they're an expensive gun, so that comes into consideration when you're buying it. But if you want a gun that's going to work and it's got a pretty good trigger in it and a lot of nice features that were pretty revolutionary 10, 12 years ago, this is a pretty good gun for you. So check it out, the P2000 from H&K. I think you'll agree that it is a well-designed, well-built gun like they all are from H&K. So we'll see you next time. It's Keith from Trigger Happy. Have a good one.